We both felt that TV hadn't really done a proper family comedy in the sense that there wasn't one that had captured the chaos of life with small children.
There were good practical reasons why it hadn't been done, but we thought they were surmountable at least.
Yeah, which they were.
The reason you get told don't work with children or animals is because they're unpredictable. You simply don't know what they're going to do. You feel that the things that happen at home with your own children and the things they say are in some way funnier than the scripted things that children are required to say. But if you actually just let children be children, then it's funny, and I think that's the secret of it, really.
We'd worked with young children on various series as well, and always been aware of the fact that we weren't capturing their childlikeness that well. And then I did a series called Bedtime, where I used my daughter Isabel when she was 7 to do a scene with the actor Kevin McNally. So it was actually Kevin who said to me, well, don't show her the lines, just don't tell her what the story is, just tell her the sequence.
We know the script, but they're not given the script. They're kind of told beforehand what area the script's going to... It's almost like they've got a seek and destroy mission.
In general rule of thumb, what we do is that one of us briefs the kid.
I mean, somebody comes over, and talks to us about the scene, and says, all right, and so after Mum says this, then Karen says this, and then we have to remember it.
You just see them in the corner of the room, sitting with that child kind of going... And you're thinking, and when Claire says that, say, I hate you!
They allow a margin of line difference because the show's partly improvised, and they'll have big chunks somewhere where they'll say, right, we're going to do this in the scene, and then we're going to leave about a 2 or 3 minute chunk where you can just go on and improvise.
Yeah, they says things like, now after that you could just make things up.
They're told what their mission is to go into the scene with, and then it's our job to try and play the scene.
Sometimes we don't tell Hugh and Claire what's coming.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know, probably just to make their life difficult, really.
Yeah, they have to react to what we say, sort of, quite well.
Yeah, they have to kind of think about it, and we're like, I'll say this, because when we make up the things, they're like, and they don't know if we're making it up or if it was lines that they weren't told.
We were very lucky because we got 2 houses side by side, one which is the family house where we shoot, and then next door, which is where we eat and where the children are taught and where the chaperones stay and so on. So, it probably is quite like some sort of large commune with people, running around between the gardens, and you never quite know who you're going to find where.
I suppose this production is very different in that it is absolutely child-centric. It revolves around them. The whole thing is geared to them to get the best out of them.
Well, and this is our house, which we...
This is the fake house. That is Keith, the sound man.
And he's the guy who puts all those big boards up.
He's the light man. Those 2 are the props. And you're the props as well.
And they're not allowed to keep us all set for too long.
Yeah,
because
45 minutes.
Yeah, so we have to have a different house so that we can go in.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
For me, it's an hour.
What we tend to do is film the children's side of the scene, point the cameras at the children first, and then after that 45 minutes, they, like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, go off to their Winnebagos, and the adult actors are left with Andy and me kneeling on the floor with a pair of eyes on our chest somewhere. Yeah. And we then turn the cameras round, and then Andy and me tend to be Daniel and Ramona. This is Daniel and I am Ramona, as you can obviously guess.
Well, I certainly don't think you should keep a list of people you're going to punish.
Have you been looking at my lists?
No, Ben told me about it. Well, I hope none of us are on your list.
No. Well, no, I mean mummy sometimes.
Their body shape changes, and they are...
Because Guy's 6 foot... How is he, 6'4"?
He's 6'4", yeah.
So he does Karen, but I love that. I don't know. It's just really sweet, isn't it?
We're very used to it now, but
Yeah.
it's slightly off-putting to start with.
A crap parent.
And scruffy.
Well, we changed it. We've got 2 invisible children and 1 of 53.
Amazing.
The hardest thing is for Hugh and Claire to sort of take us serious. They do. I mean, the only moment we ever had any spot of bother was when Hugh was doing a scene where we were both playing imaginary children and he was ticking us both off. And the line he had to say was, you're both big children.
You should punish him.
How would I punish him?
You should stop him using the computer for 6 days because he called me a bad word.
Do you know, you two can just sort this out between the 2 of you because you're both big kids now, aren't you? You're big kids in almost every sense of the word.
He did corpse there because we are very big children.
Yeah, these are our clothes, and
What's your favourite clothes?
this is my favourite trousers. These are my favourite trousers. This is my favourite top. So I'm wearing like my costume top.
We hope that the kids have a really good time when they're filming. They always seem to. They're always very jolly, and to be honest, it's not just about the filming for them, is it?
Russ, our tutor. Yeah, I think
Russ has already played an extra in Outnumbered in the hospital.
Yeah, and this is like my folder where I keep all my stories.
This is my laptop where I do most of my work.
And that's my work.
Yeah, well, we come up here.
We learn stuff up here.
And we learn things up here.
But I think Russ is the best tutor ever.
Quite often.
Dad worries about Jake a lot, and Jake wants to be independent and grown up.
Yo, dude.
Don't do that.
He just tells loads of stories about his childhood and tries to make them apply to Jake.
I think Ben finds him nerdy. Ben is not a pain. Ben is a science lover who especially likes science fiction and uses
And he loves chocolate.
and kitchen equipment for
Beating up his sister.
She's got a world of crazy ideas in her head.
Ramona, more than any of the others, I think, is very aware of the differences between her and Karen. I think Karen is someone who likes very clearly defined rules and boundaries, which of course is very difficult in this family that's got her parents in it, that's got Ben in it.
She's a great spotter, isn't she?
Yeah.
There's a moment in the farm episode where she starts quizzing her granddad.
What does it feel like to be old? Is it nice?
She's a great spotter of inconsistencies and very bright.